YouTube, how you doing? It's Richard, and we are live today for Monday's video. It's, I don't know, July 21st or 22nd, and I was doing a little bit of research, a little bit of study. My main man, Hardik, has been helping me out with some data and some analysis. Charles is just returning from Ireland, and so we decided that today's video would be a live video, and I thought long and hard about how I could add the most value to the most people, and by that I mean put the most money in your pockets so that you are most profitable and that you have a cash engine and that you're growing yourself and your business. And so to that end, I did a little bit of analysis with Hardik's help. Thank you for joining, friends. If you can hear me, I don't know, give a thumbs up or whatever happens here on YouTube. I've been going live on Facebook so much, but I really wanted to understand what is going on in the trend. You know, so often we hear about Airbnb this and Airbnb that, and Airbnb's in all the headlines, and Airbnb's going public, and we've got, you know, people that are just solely focused on Airbnb, and it's become kind of like this generic term, kind of like, I don't know, like Polaroid was for instant photos, or I think Kodak for photography and so on. Hey Jules, how are you? Anyway, so Airbnb is like sort of the big behemoth, and it gets all of the attention, and it gets all the glory, and it gets all the fame, and all of the attention, and all the headlines, and you know, people are just like Airbnb hosts. And as much as I've talked about, I'm trying to get this light, as much as I've talked about diversification, whether it be geography and platform and not being dependent on any one thing in your business and redundancy and so on, you know, there's something that's like hidden going on underneath, and it's not getting a lot of attention. And so I wanted to shine a spotlight on it and just share with you real data from several of my listings about what's going on like right now in 2019. It's the month of July, and I had Hardik analyze the month of June for me in these listings. And I wanted to see, you know, how much money is coming in via Airbnb and how much money is coming in via Homeaway. And these are just the facts. We do equally quality marketing on both platforms. It's not like I've got, you know, really terrible photos on Homeaway and really great photos on Airbnb. We match as much as we possibly can the pricing so that people can't pick us off. So you can't go rent one of my places on, say, Homeaway for more money or less money than on Airbnb. There's some subtle differences, but as much as possible, we use Beyond Pricing, who, thank you, Ian and Beyond Pricing, sponsoring, gold sponsor of the STRU Live. They are sending a representative highly trained in the exact mechanics and the algorithms to dynamically boost prices on every single day to increase our profitability. So I'm super psyched that Beyond Pricing is coming to support STRU Live and the 36 entrepreneurs. We are going to learn about the benefits, we're going to learn about the features, we're going to learn about the things that they're doing going forward, we're going to talk about their algorithms, we're going to talk about how to optimize our listings and make even more money than we're making currently. So thank you, Beyond Pricing. Really appreciate it. And I know for a fact, one of our attendees, Eric, posted in the Facebook group just for the Nashville attendees that since he switched to Beyond Pricing from whatever he was doing, I don't know if it was just, you know, flat pricing on his own or he was using another competitor to Beyond Pricing, but in the first month that he switched, he's already made more money to pay for his Nashville ticket. So value add, yes, and the best is yet to come, friends. Anyway, enough about Beyond Pricing. The point about Beyond Pricing is that I use Beyond Pricing on both Homeaway and on Airbnb. And this is a very long-winded way of saying the photos are the same, the order of the photos are the same, the captions are the same, the pricing strategy is the same, everything is the same. Now there are some differences in the way that the platform works, right? So like Airbnb doesn't charge me a credit card fee, but VRBO will in fact charge me a credit card fee if somebody books through them. So wherever I can control and make it a apples to apples, you know, full out boxing match, 18 rounds, we're going to go and we're going to see who the winner is. That's what we're doing. And I was shocked when I got these results, right? So I'm going to ask, there's 36 people live right now, and I thank you very much. I'm going to ask you right now in the comments to just put, who do you think, based on your business and what you know about 2019 and the short-term rental market, who do you think came out on top in the month of June in 3 different listings? Do you think Airbnb won? Do you think Homeaway won? Do you think it was a tie? Do you think it was close enough? It was an equal race and, like, you know, it was a nose decision or whatever that thing's called. I'm going to look at these questions here Aiken, how you doing? My man Aiken's going to be in Nashville learning about Airbnb, VRBO, beyond pricing, and so on. So go ahead, guys. There's 48 of you live right now. I want to know, out of the 48 of you, you guys are experts, or you're going to be experts, or you're launching your business, or you're scaling your business, but whatever it is that you're doing, you guys are right there, front and center, right? You're running your business. So go ahead. Airbnb, VRBO. We'll call VRBO, it's shorter, or you could type Homeaway, but they're one and the same. All right, here we go. Look, here's the answer. I'm going to start reading these out, friends. Airbnb, VRBO, Airbnb, Airbnb. Homeaway by just a little bit. Airbnb one, Airbnb, Airbnb. For me, Airbnb, Airbnb, Airbnb. Not even close. Sean, not even close. Which way, my friend? Dan G, Airbnb, although I get more money per night on VRBO. Airbnb and VRBO tie. I need to get listed on VRBO. Tracy says 5x. Sean says more on Airbnb. That's what he says, not even close. Airbnb, 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 Airbnb. Boom! No, 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 no. Not even close the other way. Homeaway, friends. Are you shocked like I was? Because literally, I couldn't believe it. But let me give you the actual results. And now, for those of you who don't know, I've been out like climbing some ridiculous Mount Moran thing. It was insanity, 12,700 foot vertical. And I was climbing with like ropes and stuff. That's way outside my comfort zone. I've never done anything like that. I had to camp overnight. I did a whole Facebook Live on it and sent an email. So if you guys got that, but in any event, I'm a little sore, I'm a little stiff, I'm losing my voice, but I wanted to share with you these results. And now I see all sorts of comments coming in. So let's see here. All right, so we've got more people still. Airbnb, 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 about 50-50. Airbnb, Airbnb, VRBO has virtual tours, so maybe they will catch up. Airbnb, Airbnb, though, just got started. Dan G, you rock. You rock, Dan G. Oh, wow, wow, what? Shocked, intrigued. Okay, so here you did better this year with VRBO and my sweet dog. All right, so look, friends, 56 people live right now. I want to give you the actual data because, like I said, I was shocked. Like I said, Airbnb gets all the attention. It's sort of like, the like sweetheart of the short-term rental market. Me personally, I book on Airbnb all the time. I have yet to ever book on VRBO or Homeaway. I may not even have an account for my personal travel. So everything that I do personally is Airbnb. The reason I use Airbnb so much is because I like the user experience. I like the app. It just works really well. Like for me, functionally, it works. But at the end of the day, I am a server. I serve the community, right? So if people want to book with me off of the Airbnb platform and they prefer Homeaway or they prefer VRBO, then it's not really relevant what I do personally because I'm in business to serve guests. I'm in business to be hospitable. I'm in business to, do things like client service. These are the things that make a business successful. So even though Airbnb gets all the attention and all the headlines, that doesn't mean that that's where the money is. And it may be something to do with my unique locations, which tend to be more vacation rental type locations, right? A ski house, a beach house, Jackson Hole, for instance. And so I'm going to look at 3 places. I'm going to look at the place in Alabama, which is Fairhope, Alabama. I'm going to look at a place in Crested Butte, Colorado. And I'm going to look at my own place here in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And I'm going to share with you those details. So let's go ahead and get started right now. The closest one, friends, the closest one was in Colorado, where we had about 20 nights booked, $750 average night, which was the second highest average night we've ever had, a total of about $15,000 in bookings. And in this particular case, it was pretty darn close. Homeaway booked $7,662 to Airbnb's $7,290. So in this particular case, we're only talking about, I don't know, $350, $400. Not a lot. I wouldn't be making this video if it was only $400 discrepancy. But check this out. Then the next one that was close, not that close, was my place in Fairhope, Alabama. There we booked over $7,000. We only had 13 nights. I kept my prices really high. It was one of our most profitable months. I was doing a little bit of an experiment there. So I raised the rates. I wanted to have higher quality guests coming in, better experiences, better reviews, and so on. And so I had less than 50% occupancy and still had one of my best months ever in Alabama. And in this particular case, Airbnb did $2,884 and Homeaway did $4,172. Now I'm live, so I don't have my calculators and spreadsheets in front of me, but I just got this data and I wanted to hit you with it as quickly as possible. But that's a significant difference, right? We're talking about $1,400. That's 30–40% more on Homeaway versus Airbnb. So that's two properties where Homeaway has one. Now check this out. This is what really got me, and this is what got me to say, Hardik, run the other numbers, let's see what it looks like. My place in Jackson Hole, again, I have a duplex, I live upstairs, I rent the downstairs. I'm about to rent the upstairs for the first time because Eric and I are traveling an awful lot in the next few months, next few years, next few decades. We're going to be traveling a lot. So it's time for me to start to monetize that when it's empty. I asked in a Facebook Live, or actually in an email, I'm creating a system on how my stuff gets packed up and all my personal belongings and all of the art and artifacts that are personal to me, how we create a system so that that's automated. It gets packed up upon my departure and then it gets delivered and installed before I arrive so that it's kind of like effortless on my part. A lot of people expressed an interest in that, so that's a work in progress right now. But I'm about to list the upstairs, so the data for this is really just the downstairs only. And this is amazing to me. So we did something like $13,537 in revenue in the month of June. Airbnb came in with a whopping $2,968, and Homeaway came in with $10,569. So that's like almost 5x the revenue in Jackson Hole versus the beautiful child Airbnb that we all nurture and cradle and we live for and we swear by it. And out of the 48 people that were live at the time, 90% of you said Airbnb was the way to go. But I just showed you 3 of my listings, and in each case, Homeaway won. It beat Airbnb. In one case, it was by $400, not meaningful. In another case, it was by 30 or 40%, pretty significant. And in another place, it was about 5x, which is massive. Now, to be fair, I recognize if I only listed on one platform, which I would never do and I would never encourage you to do, and that's just silly because you never want to have all your eggs in any one basket. Irrespective of what your beliefs are, anything, you want to have duplication, you want to have redundancy, you want to have things that happen just in case something were to go wrong, right? So you want to list on 2 platforms anyway. But if you were to only list on Airbnb, then I recognize that my calendar would be open and perhaps some listings that got taken on Homeaway might happen on Airbnb, right? So I'm cognizant of that and I want to share that with you. However, I don't want to be the guy who's not listing my place and paying a lot of attention in my business to where my clients are. I want to pay a lot of attention to their preferences, their selections, their preferred UX, their methodology. And so I will be spending a lot of time in 2019 analyzing Homeaway and what they're doing well, what's going on. I mentioned earlier about a boost product that they now have. When you have enough bookings on their service, you get boost points, which allows you to increase your SEO ratings. I think that's really cool. That's really interesting. Hardik and I experimented with that during I think it was 4th of July. We wanted to get the booking. We didn't want to really reduce our rates, so we boosted our SEO. So they're doing a lot of innovative things. Somebody here said they've got virtual tours now. I haven't seen that. But my point is this. If you only focus on Airbnb, you're doing so at your own peril. There's a whole wealth of opportunity and a lot of money that's coming in via Homeaway. I just shared with you 3 actual results, actual dollars and cents that we monetized, and in each case, Homeaway did better. So we as a community need to embrace Homeaway, and maybe we should start talking about Homeaway more than Airbnb. And just because Airbnb is like the poster child and is going public and all this and that, Homeaway was purchased by Expedia for $3.5 billion, which is a significant investment. They didn't do that to be an also-ran, and they didn't put $3.5 billion because they wanted to be second or third. So they are doing a lot of really interesting things, and it seems to be working. Another thing that I'm thinking about is, well, why is Homeaway so much more? Why is that happening? And this is just a theory, so I'd love to hear your comments on it. But it's a possibility, and it may work well. So one of the beautiful things about Beyond Pricing is that if you want the certainty of booking the place that you fell in love with. Let's say you looked at my thumbnail, and my thumbnails are getting even more legit. I hired a professional photographer. She's busy editing the photos right now. So, I listed the listing really quickly. I had, between a bunch of different places, did my absolute best. I'm a pretty good photographer, but I'm not a pro. So we're going pro now. So the listing is getting even better. I'll put them both on Homeaway and Airbnb. But when you fall in love with that listing and you look at the thumbnail, you look at the photos, and you must have it. And a lot of people plan ahead, right? Like, not necessarily everybody on this channel, not necessarily every host. So this is the time where you have to, remove yourself and your personal preferences and your travel habits from believing that everybody is like you. Certain people do things far in advance. For instance, if people have school-aged children, there's certain holidays and there's certain times that they're off for spring break and Christmas and so on. And so they may fall in love with a place and absolutely want it, and they might be booking 6 months or a year in advance. Well, when you use dynamic pricing the way that Beyond Pricing does it, it's the only pricing service that I can speak to intelligently. But I imagine the others sort of do something similar. But anyway, the further out things are, the more premium things get priced out at, right? Makes sense. If somebody must have that, they probably are willing to pay more than somebody who's just taking whatever, like they don't care. And so I'm wondering if perhaps Homeaway is geared more towards families. All of my homes are family oriented. They're 4 bedrooms is the smallest, except for the Jackson Hole one. That's actually only 2 bedrooms until I start listing the upstairs. But still, nonetheless, tend to be family oriented. I'm going to try and change that lighting a little bit. And families tend to have restrictions on travel, whether it be work or school or whatever. And so maybe they need to have a little bit more certainty, and they're willing to pay a premium, and so they book in advance, and they block my Airbnb calendar. There, that looks a little better. And so maybe that's why I'm getting so many bookings on Homeaway. People are planning their trip to Jackson Hole long in advance. It's a destination they want to go to. They're probably saving up some money for some period of time. They fall in love with the location and the thumbnail, and they want to come there, and so they book it. And they book it on Homeaway. And maybe, again, this is just theory. I want to see your comments, friends. You guys are hosts along with me. We're all in this together. I can learn from you just like you can learn from me. But maybe Airbnb is for, I don't know, a younger traveler or a last-minute traveler or somebody that doesn't have their heart set on. They could go to Jackson Hole or they could go to Vail, Colorado. I don't know, I'm just speculating. But there's a very clear pattern here, and that's the point of the video, that as much as everyone talks about Airbnb, and as much attention as Airbnb gets, and as much headline news and public and Airbnb Lux and Airbnb Plus and all this stuff that they're doing, all of the marketing and hype and everything that's going in and around Airbnb, and I'll be the first to admit, on this channel, I did not call it Airbnb. That was intentional, friends. Right? Like, this isn't about Airbnb, and this isn't about Homeaway, and it's not about Booking.com, and I'm not associating the content and the education that I'm teaching with any one platform. I'm teaching you how to be a short-term rental entrepreneur, and you should be duplicative. You should be redundant. You should have at least one platform. You need to have at least 2 platforms. Scratch that, at least 2 platforms, maybe more. And most importantly, you need to be open-minded and follow the money. So who's showing you the money? Now, if you're only on Airbnb, I can answer that question. It's only Airbnb. But the unknown is how much money you're leaving on the table. And if that's significant, then that's a mistake. Wouldn't you agree? Now, for those of you that are winning on Airbnb, you should be asking the inverse question to me, which is, why are you winning on Airbnb and not Homeaway? Maybe it's more urban, maybe it's younger people, maybe it's a smaller space, maybe Airbnb caters to a certain demographic that we have yet to identify. But I'm working to uncover that, because therein lies a lot of riches. It could turn out, and I'm just making this up, right? I haven't done the work yet. But what if we knew that Airbnb travelers tended to be younger, tended to have smaller locations, and tended to book last minute? That would be really helpful, right? As we expand our empire and we start to add more places, we start to think about these geographies or this demographic profile as Airbnb, and we'd think of other demographic profiles and other locations as more Homeaway. And we'd really start to spend a lot more time and energy analyzing Homeaway and the SEO on that and the listing and the virtual tours, and we'd start to grow our businesses. And that's the point of this video. So I'm going to read some of these comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Who's visiting you? If you're an Airbnb host or a VRBO host, Who's coming? Is there anything to what I'm speculating about right now? Again, I haven't done a lot of the work. I'm just starting to think out loud here, but there's clearly something going on, and I need to bring it to your attention immediately before all we do is fall in love with Airbnb, only list on Airbnb, and we think we're Airbnb hosts. I'll remind each and every one of you, we are short-term rental entrepreneurs. This is what we're doing right now. We're also real estate investors. We might even become real estate developers. We may even be entrepreneurs and have totally different business lines all across, the world. It doesn't really matter. But I do not want any of you to limit yourselves to thinking you're just an Airbnb host, because that would be short selling yourself. Wow, there's a lot of comments, friends. Thank you so much. Let me see here. Sean says, interesting. Sean was the guy, or I think it's a male. Sean was the guy who said he had 5 times as many listings on Airbnb. What you found is that VRBO books way ahead, Airbnb books close to the date. I think we're onto something there. That was my thesis too. Surprise, my spot is in Bermuda, and 85% is Airbnb, 10% Homeaway, and 5% is, whoops, uh-oh. I don't know what I did. I went low power mode. I've got 20% battery life, friends. So I'm going to keep going. If we get cut off, we know why. It's not that you said anything or I dislike you. In fact, I love you. I'm so grateful for you. I'd love to meet you in person. If you want to come meet me in person, there's a few seats left. I think we're down to 3 seats or so. And I'm announcing the scholarship winner. We had 36 applications. Incredibly motivating and exciting, and I can't wait to announce the winner. I have a lot of work to do. I'm going to need some help on it because there's so many compelling people that have all worthy and deserving of the scholarship that I would love to meet in person. So we're going to announce those results soon. In the meantime, there are a few seats left, so if you're interested in meeting me in person and really getting granular, taking your business to that next level, let's go, friends. Nashville, I think it's 14 days away. Can you imagine? Can you believe? Anyway, the link is in the description. If you want to join me, I'd love to see you. Let's see here. All right, guys, I got to go through some of this stuff. So the person, Q Hustle, who says that 85% is in Airbnb in your Bermuda, take a look at your Homeaway listing. Make sure it's as good. Make sure the photos are the same, the order's the same. Let's make sure we're really comparing apples to apples. Toyin is surprised. Wow, VRBO and Homeaway are the same thing, correct? Yeah, it's different platforms, but they're owned by the same people, and so they're one and the same, basically. They'll show you the listings. Hardick says yes. Robert, everyone is trying to gain an edge in the STR world. You're right. And now Sean, videos are great. Thanks for putting them together. When am I coming to Toronto? I don't know, but I love Toronto. Hello, you love my channel. Watching from Miami. Who has the cheapest rates of all the platforms? I think the cheapest is still the cheapest is still Airbnb, because what they do intelligently is ACH transfer, so they don't actually accept credit cards, which saves the processing fee. So even though Homeaway collects a credit card fee, it's not really for them, right? It's just like, it's a merchant fee. I'm sorry about the lighting here, friends. I'm actually staying at my private club here as a guest at the Caldera House in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, which is my private ski club. It's amazing. I wasn't going to do this, but by the way, I only have 10 thumbs up. I have 70 people live, tons of comments, and 10 thumbs up. Like, I don't know, man. Talking about like doing the analysis real quick, like that ratio just seems wrong to me. Not happy about that at all. Erica's here, and I'm trying to figure out, oh, you want to say hi? Look, friends, look at this. There's the smiley Erica, and I'm going to give you a sneak little peek. This is the room we're staying in. This thing, there's some famous people here right now, really famous people. There's some really famous people that just left a week ago. This is the Jackson Hole Mountain. It's a little bit overcast today, but that's the ski mountain, world's famous ski mountain. And right there, those cables, that's the tram. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll see the tram. And then there's some kids playing, and there's some fountain. It's all good. Yes, Tracy, that is my girlfriend. Let's see here. All right, I wanted to take a look at the rest of these comments here. Don't forget, my battery life is short, so it's nothing that you said, but, all right, let's see here. Boy, my goodness. Now we got 16, so I motivated 6 people to, say that this was a worthwhile use of their time. Friends, come on, where's the love? I'm sending you my love. I mean, here I am, loving on each one of you, individually, collectively, the community, short-term rentals, entrepreneurship. Got 3 more, Erica. Yes. Yeah, you like it. There, she gave me a double thumbs up. All right, so my videos are great. Thanks for putting them together, Sean. It's my pleasure. When am I coming to Toronto? We talked about that, Miami. Airbnb bookings 10-to-1 over Homeaway. That's interesting, MPS. Same pics and description. So what's the difference? How big is your place? What's the age group? Are they booked at the last minute? You only use Airbnb at Miami. You're at almost 90% occupancy with just one platform. Works well in Miami. You know, I think Airbnb works everywhere. It works really well. But there's a mistake in thinking that there's only one solution. What if you only listed on Homeaway, and what if you made 50% more? You might be at 90% occupancy, but maybe Homeaway travelers are less price sensitive. Maybe they're wealthier. Maybe they're larger groups. Maybe there's more money to be made on Homeaway, right? Like, that's the challenge of only doing one thing. For instance, what if I only drank milk? That was the only form of my nutrition. Now, when we came into this world, we all that's what we had, was our mother's milk. So we could go through life being great, but what if we didn't reach our full potential in height, in weight, in strength, in all of these other things, right? Like, we know a balanced diet is really important. So saying that you only do Airbnb and you're at 90% is good enough. Well, yeah, but what if you did 90% of your bookings on Homeaway and you made 50 or 60% more money? Wouldn't that be worthwhile? I mean, you're doing this to be profitable and have a cash engine, right? So to me, it seems like it might be. Tracy, it's nice to finally see her. You're not hanging out with us on our Facebook channel. We've been going live every single day since I was challenged 30 some odd days ago in the Facebook group, and she's all over it. She's the rock star. I mean, you ask her anything about short-term rentals, she'll tell you anything you want to know. She's fantastic.
Thank you, Tracy.
She says thank you. She's a little bit far away, so she wished she could give me 100 thumbs up. You're so kind. Where is the thumbs up button? Hola from Mexico, ¿qué pasa? I have my very first guest at my loft at Airbnb. Thank you for all your tips. Nora, I love it. Good luck. You have found more families use Homeaway for a 3-bedroom duplex, but more on Airbnb for 1 and 2 bedrooms. And that was part of my theory, right? Like, I'm just speculating. I know, enough about short-term rentals to have ideas. I don't like to just spout ideas as fact. I like to do the research. But I think we're onto something here, and I think it's really worth noting as entrepreneurs, and we try and optimize and grow and learn and develop and become more profitable. We need to do the work, friends. We can't just say, like, well, this is what's working now. That's how you get run over. That's how you get disrupted, right? Like, if you're just doing what you've been doing and you think what worked yesterday is going to work tomorrow and it's going to work in the future in perpetuity, that's how you get disrupted. That's how you get put out of business. That's how dinosaurs go extinct. No one on my watch is going extinct. But you have to be open-minded. You have to try new things. You have to say, you know what, I'm going to list on that second platform, or I'm going to really focus my time and energy for the next quarter into Homeaway. I'd like to drive wealthier people, bigger people, people that book in advance. I want to try beyond pricing. I want to take my business to that next level, because these tips and advice and all the things that I'm helping and teaching you and all are really wonderful, but at the end of the day, it's up to you, right? Like, I'm not there doing it for you. Now, the 36 people in Nashville are going to have an inside advantage because we're going to be doing it together. So not only am I teaching them what to do, I'll be doing it with them and holding their hand, and I'm doing it in advance. I've gotten to know many of them individually. They've sent me their homework. I understand a lot about their financial situation and their desires, their growth, where they want to go. And then when we're in Nashville, we're going to be doing it together. So that's huge advantageous. But for those of you that are just watching this video right now, I can tell you and teach you all of the things that I think are happening, but at the end of the day, you're the ones that have to take the massive action. You're the ones that have to take all the photos and upload them to Homeaway and open up an account and do your absolute best marketing. And if you're going to do that, I suggest you improve, right? Like, that's why I'm improving my Jackson Hole listing. I just hired this professional photographer. I was doing really well, as you can see. I was doing great. We had a blowout, year this year over last. I've done another video that showed that we're up 60% or something like that versus a year ago. Well, we're doing it better, and we're getting better, and we continue to refine, and we continue to learn and grow and experiment, right? Like, that's what entrepreneurs do. And so I will not let you go extinct under my watch. You hear me? No one is going extinct under my watch. She's gorgeous. Hold on. Now, Tracy. Now. Come here, sweetheart. Oh, this is bad lighting. Let me go to this side.
This is bad lighting.
Well, it's just, it's not the best lighting either. But yes, she's a sweetheart. I'm very fortunate and quite grateful, and she motivates and inspires me and helps me show up every day. So thank you for the accolades. I couldn't concur more with you, Tracy. Let's see here. All right, you'd love to see some of your listings on our property sites for ideas or inspiration. My properties are unique to me. That's not really going to help you so much. But that's why we've done a lot of those listings reviews before. People seem to really like those a lot. Slick Arc'teryx hat. Friends, listen, I can tell you this. This brand like saved my life. I was out there climbing. It's brand new to me. I was on ropes, 12,700 foot summit to Mount Moran. I thought it was a hike. If you're not on my email list, then this is all news to you. But if you are, you read about it and you saw the photos. If you're not on the email list, get on there. It's free. It's amazing. www.str.university. And I shared photos of the hike. I also shared them on Facebook. But I was climbing with ropes. I thought I was going on a hike. I thought it was an overnight camping trip. I knew there were some technical sections, and so I needed to learn how to, like trust the rope and trust the stuff. I hired an expert guide. His name is Kai at Exum Guides, and the dude is amazing. He's a miracle. I love this man. He saved my life. I mean, literally, I was this rock wall. I mean, 1,000 foot up and 1,000 foot down, and I've never done this before. Thank goodness I'm healthy and fit, and I'm incredibly grateful that I've taken care of my body. And if I can inspire, motivate any of you on this video to do anything, like forget about Homeaway, forget about Airbnb, forget about anything. You've got nothing if you don't have your health, right? Like once it's over, there's no going back, right? And it's too late. So before it's too late, today, take action. Watch what you eat. Watch what you do. Treat your body and yourself with love and respect, and be healthy. And I'm not like the world's healthiest person, but I was able to just do that thing at age 49 and came back uninjured. I'm stiff, I'm sore, but I'm really, really amazed at what I was able to accomplish, especially given my self-limiting belief of I was fearful of heights. And here I am suspended, super exposed is what it's called, when you're like on some, I've got my one toe in this little hole and one arm up here, and I'm holding on for dear life, and beneath me there's just like air. That's called exposure. And I was really, really exposed and way outside my comfort zone. And what was really amazing was I changed my mindset, and instead of focusing on where I was or how exposed I was, I focused on how grounded I was, right? Even though I only had one toe and one hand, and I was like, you know what? I feel everything. I'm safe. This is fine. And I had no choice but to show up, because there was no way up or no way down without going over that mountain. So like I had to perform and I had to show up, and it was amazing. I really pushed myself out of any physical and mental limit that I've ever even imagined. It was the scariest thing I've ever done. But you know when I was scared? Once I got home safely and I could actually think about it and process what I did, I was like literally wigging out. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, there's enough about the climbing. I'll probably do another video on it. Whoever said about the Arc'teryx, I love this brand. I was wearing it head to toe. I was wearing multiple layers. I was out like sleeping in overnight camping bags and on insulated mattress pads and with a sleeping bag, and up at dark. 3 in the morning we got up. By 4 in the morning we had our headlamp on. We were climbing through the night, and thank goodness, because I couldn't see what I was doing. On the way down I was like, what? We did this? That's insane. Well, the beautiful thing with the spotlight, and this is a lesson, is if you're only looking at one thing and that's where your focus is, then you can execute on that one thing, right? You're missing all sorts of other extraneous information that might give you pause or fear or concern. But when you're only focused on like the one spotlight, it's like a flashlight ahead of me. One step, one step, one step, and we just kept going. But then on the way down, I was like, what? This is insane. In any event, the Arc'teryx stuff really helped me out. I was really pleased with it. I love the brand, and whoever said nice hat, I appreciate it. Let's see here. All right, we got a lot of comments. We have 60 some odd people live right now. I appreciate what? Oh, the tram? Okay, friends. Erica, look, there goes the Jackson Hole tram. People are going up to the top of the mountain. If you see that and you like it and you know it, say hello. So there they go. They're going up to the top of the tram. I also did a Facebook Live, friends, yesterday at the Caldera House, which is my private ski club. I come here, and the reason I come here is because I have a blocker. They keep all my gear here, and then I just walk to the tram. You saw how close it was. So it's practically ski in, ski out. But this is a great hotel, great club. They've got 8 suites, recently named one of the best new hotels by Travel and Leisure in 2019, and they invited me to stay here. So Eric and I are enjoying a staycation. We're working on the STRU live event in Nashville, putting some finishing touches together, putting some more swag, adding more value, friends, growing. We're really moving the needle here. So that's what we're doing here at the Caldera House, and that's what's going on. All right, I've got more comments here. Let's see here. Hey, from Govey, tons of ski racers and pro snowboarders in town. I love Govey, man. It's been a long time. My kids, You know, they've aged out of ski racing, but we used to go there every single summer for camp with Eric Seiler. I love that man. Let's see here. Thank you for your answer. You must keep working on the prices. Love your videos. Thank you so much. Thank you for the answer. Sorry, all the photos are the same. I think there's some variables influence this data, probably location. I'm hosting on both and I'm not getting the same amount of bookings on Homeaway, having Airbnb winning. Rodrigo, look, it's a very, personal thing. These are just 3 data points, but when I saw that all 3 were pointing in the same direction for me and the magnitude of the change, especially in Alabama and in Jackson Hole, I thought it was really important to share it with you because while it may not be working for you, Rodrigo, I guarantee you there's somebody here, there's 65 people that are live that hasn't done that test and would do better on Homeaway. It just has to happen. Julie Brown with the 5 thumbs up. Byron. Julie Byron with the 5 thumbs up. Thank you. Beautiful praise. Thank you. By the way, you host here in London. I love London, my man. I haven't been there in a long time. I used to chill hard at Claridge's. That was my spot, man. Love Claridge's. You know why I love Claridge's? And I've told this story before. So I used to travel there a lot. I used to live in New York City and I used to go to London pretty much every week, at least 3 weeks a month. And I always stayed at Claridge's, so I was sort of like extended family. That was my home away from home. And even when I was gone for an extended period of time, let's say I went to other parts of Europe or I went to Asia and I was gone for a month or something like that, 2 months, didn't matter when I showed up. Could be middle of the night, it could be raining, it could be freezing cold, it could be Tuesday at 6 in the morning, it could be Friday at 6 at night. It didn't really matter. But they were so well trained and they cared and they were so concerned about me and my well-being and they knew who I was that every time I arrived, the valet that would open up the door, the taxi door, would always say something to the effect of, in the British accent, "Lovely to see you, Mr. Furtick. It's been a while. I hope you've been okay. Welcome back." Right? It was like this just a little personal thing, but I was never going to book anywhere else. I mean, I had to. Sometimes I would book at the last minute. Claridge's would be sold out, and I'd go to the Dorchester. That was my second place. But, my heart is at Claridge's, and I've got to go back. So thank you for the London memories. I appreciate it very much. All right, here we go. We've got more questions. You're going to try Homeaway. Good, Manuel. Good. I appreciate it very much. Homeaway. Someone's on Homeaway. Thumbs up is only available on the iPhone. Only when using the web version. So it's not available on the iPhone. Friends, that's terrible. Tracy, I'm just going to repeat your comment just because it feels so good. She is gorgeous, yes. I'm going to try Homeaway. I love you. Thank you so much. Nora, I love you too, my friend. I wish Beyond Pricing was available in Bermuda. I would be surprised if it's not. I'll make a call. It should be available in Bermuda. Did I get any fly fishing in Rhode? Not yet, but it's on my to-do list. Here's the challenge. We've had an epic amount of snow last winter, so the runoff is still happening. In fact, if you looked at any of my videos and photos from my climbing trip, Mount Moran Summit, there was ice everywhere. That's what we were drinking. We were drinking the glacier runoff, like the snow melt. It's delicious. It was so cold. It was so refreshing. It was life-giving. Literally, I was like dying, and it was giving me life. But the point is, when that much water runs off into the rivers move too quickly, and so the fishing isn't great yet. I need to check in on that. It's been about a week or so since I got an update, but I love fly fishing. Let's see here. Once a tram. Thank you for all of this. Take care. Do I still do listing reviews to get one? I don't really do them anymore. I'm thinking about doing it for. We have a membership wait list, and there's people that are on that. I think we have several hundred people that want to be part of a membership group, and that would be one of the things that we would probably offer in that group, but it's not determined yet. Once a tram goes from Govey Camp to Timberline, my rental will really be booking hard. Are they doing that? Is that happening? You've been on Homeaway for 6 months now. You prefer their platform over Airbnb, but you get more bookings from Airbnb. Interesting. Max, explain the title of the chat, please. Well, earlier in the video, and you should go back when I'm not live and watch it, we did an analysis, a comparison of my June listings in 3 different locations. I took a look at Jackson Hole, my Fairhope, Alabama, and Crested Butte, Colorado, and we looked at the different platforms and how much money they brought in. And then in each case, Homeaway actually was far superior to Airbnb, and I was basically just saying that, for all the attention that Airbnb gets, both on this channel and in our Facebook group and on other channels and in the media, you would think there's only Airbnb, and yet they're not performing to the same level for me in my listings, in my locations, in my size category, at my price point, anywhere near Airbnb is underperforming way more than Homeaway. And so you would think that Homeaway would be the one that's getting all the accolades and all the press and all the mentions and all the, videos and everything. And all we'd be talking about is Homeaway. And I don't think that's good either. But I do think a balance is a better approach where we talk about Airbnb and Homeaway as if they're equal, right? Like we don't want Homeaway to be the distant, relative that nobody cares about because I made $10,000 or almost $11,000 out of $13,000 in Jackson Hole on Homeaway, which is unbelievable. It's like 5 times more than Airbnb. So why would I not pay more attention to that and bring that to your attention? Let's see here, my friends. Oh, something happened. You've been on Homeaway for 6 months. We talked about that. Explain the title of the chat. I just did that. Foodie, how you doing? Devon, UK, you're great. Nice to see you. Thank you for the shout out. Thanks for all the tips. If you come to Toronto, book my place. I'd love that. Hey, Logify has just named you one of the best 7 YouTube channels on Airbnb and you happen to agree. Thank you, Rod. I appreciate it very much. My personal opinion, and I'm a little biased, just, to set the record straight, I have a bias. I'm personally biased and I think I'm number uno. But thank you for the shout out. I do appreciate it. Richard, your video on how to handle damages really helped me going on 1 year now. Oh, excellent. I appreciate that OG. The OG fade. Galaxy Note lit. Thumbs up works on the iPhone. You click the X to close the chat and then shows the thumb. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to try this. LenDog22 has just shared with us a tip. I want to see how this works. The thumbs up on your iPhone, you click the X to close the chat and then it shows the thumb. Then I guess you click on the thumb and then you can open up the chat again. So let's see, we're at 30 and let's see if we can't get 10 more to 40. Now that we know how to do it on the iPhone. Rich was the first YouTuber I started watching before STRU. Yes, thank you, Rody. You're booking for $8.95 with a 2-night minimum for the football games. You love it. You know what? That surge pricing is really great. By the way, nobody on the iPhone has clicked the thumbs up. I'm watching. I'm not just, I'm multitasking. What's your vision for the Nashville event? Do you see it happening every year? Bucky, I see having more of these. I think it's really going to depend on how much growth people experience. I want to try and get into better light. If it's helping people, then I want to do it, basically. And it's already helping people. I've had more comments about the value of the ticket having already been paid for, and we haven't even started the live event. The live event's not for 14 days. So the answer to your question, Bucky, is I don't know that it'll happen every year, and I don't know that it'll happen in Nashville, but if it's helping people to the extent that I know it will help people, then we will repeat it. Maybe we'll go on a global tour. Maybe I'll do one in Europe, and maybe I'll do one in Asia, and maybe I'll do one on, I don't know, the West Coast or something like that. But this is all in the future, so it's really hard to say. But if it's helping people, I want to do it. Excellent perspective. Thanks for answering. It's my pleasure, Max. Homeaway is a filler for you since Airbnb is a big booker. However, I've recently started my own website and it's growing fast. That's fantastic, and I think that's where we all want to go. We got more lits and stuff. I got one more like. This light is really messing with me. I'm going inside. I'm going to finish this baby off inside because I can't read, You guys want to see a quick little tour here? Check this out. So this is one of the best hotels in 2019. Here's our bedroom. Apologies, we're living in here right now. It's a 2-bedroom, and it's really cool. It's beautiful. The best location in the mountain. My place is in town, but this is up in the mountain area. And they went really rad with like the bright red cherry bathroom and beautiful tub area. So super cool, and the kitchen is excellent. They just did a really unbelievable job. So I'm grateful to be a member here. I'm grateful to be able to come here and go to the tram and ski. The light's not that great, so I apologize for that. Got a little bar area over here, and then here you can see, like, you guys, this is work. We got laptops, we got GoPros, we got camera bags, we got gear, we got ring lights. But what I do want to share with you here is the nice little note. Dear Fertig family, a warm welcome to the house. Wishing you a wonderful staycation and so glad you have a chance to host you at the hotel, the Caldera Concierge. This has been rummaged through, but this was a beautiful little presentation that they left for us. Nice bottle of wine. And again, we've got some video equipment in here, so I apologize for that. But This is the kitchen area. You'll notice that there's no refrigerator, and instead they went with the Fisher Paykel undermount fridge and freezer. So what that looks like is like that. Pretty expensive, not necessary for your standard Airbnb or Homeaway listing, but this is super high end. And I think this place, it's a 2-bedroom. I bet during the holidays it rents for thousands of dollars a night. They've got this launch port, which is how you get all of your audio and stuff, and it attaches, charges right there. Here's a little entrance. And then here's the second bedroom. So if any of you want to come visit, come right now. I got a bedroom. Who wants to come? By the way, only 33 thumbs up now. So even people with the iPhone, now that they know how to thumbs up. Ooh, somebody took it away. Uh-oh. So this is the second bedroom. And then here's the second bathroom. Again, cherry red, which is hot and sexy and gorgeous. And it's the way they did it. And then the only other thing I would share with you is this nice little laundry room, mud room, place to change everything, built-in cabinets, hooks. You can see short-term rental university in the house. And then Sweaty Betty. Anyway, I'm going to try and get some more comments that you guys have asked here. So let's take a look here. Platform in your network. I'm working on doing not quite that, but helping you guys have your own websites with one click. We're going to announce the release of that pretty soon after Nashville. I've got a lot of things that I've been developing and working on, in calculators and tools and things that are really going to help hosts significantly. But the vast majority of my time and energy of late has been on the Nashville event to make sure that I over-deliver and really help these individuals grow to levels that they didn't realize that they could. Kind of like when I went on that climb. I had no idea I could ever rock climb like this mountain. I would never even look at it. I would never even dream of it. I wouldn't even want to do it. But somehow I accepted the invitation. I didn't realize what I was getting into. And then I had no choice but to just deliver, right? Like it was life or death and I had to deliver. So that's the way you do it. Daytona, 50% more VRBO than Airbnb. Your Durango is the opposite, 50% more Airbnb than VRBO. Interesting. Gorgeous tile bathroom, I agree. Awesome welcome package. Wow, that's a great note and gift basket. You want to see one other one? Have I added smart tech to my STRs? It's going to be interesting. I said I was listing my upstairs in Jackson Hole that I've never listed before. And there I have some smart technology. I've got some really cool lighting. And I've got some, August is my door lock. So that'll be my first time that I'm doing it. But I wanted to share with you because somebody commented this about the welcome package. Look at this. This is a nice little note. It takes 2 seconds. It doesn't cost a lot of money, but it's thoughtful and it's well received by people like me. So look. So this is the telephone. And then they have custom stationery with their logo, just their color on the back, really easy. Dial 0 for anything. I mean, how friendly is that, right? Like that's encouraging you to dial 0 for anything. It's these little things, friends. It's the little touches. All right, let's see here. Timberline is opening up the mountain bike park for the first time in a couple of weeks. How's the Jackson Hole with mountain bikers? It's really good, man. Jackson Hole is a great place to mountain bike, and the Jackson Hole Resort, I believe you can you take gondolas and stuff up with? Yeah, you can, right? Yep. I haven't really done that. I'm more of a road bicyclist at this stage, but yeah, it's great. Let's see, Timberline. Roadie's coming. I offered up the second bedroom. So what do you think? Is that a good idea? We can host someone, can't we?
Sure.
Roadie.
More the merrier.
Roadie, get on down here. Come on, we're partying. Let's see. Do Homeaway and VRBO calendars communicate with Airbnb calendars? You have to be vigilant blocking days. No, you just sync them. They should connect. I would double check and make sure that there is a little bit of errors, or at least there were. And I made a video about that before, specifically when somebody canceled. What I noticed was that the calendars synced, they worked really well when somebody booked, but they didn't seem to work very well when somebody canceled. So you want to double check that. Great question. I am new. It seems VRBO service fee is higher than Airbnb, right? You know what? It's actually not. If you know that you're going to commit to VRBO and Homeaway, I pay $495 or $499 a year, and that's less money than the service fee paying per booking on Airbnb, so it's actually quite a deal. The challenge is that they also sometimes charge a credit card fee if people pay with a credit card, but that's just a convenience and that's a pass-through. So, here's one thing I learned in business. When people want to pay you, take their money. And if it costs you 1 or 2%, don't worry about it. Just take their money, get the booking. So in all my businesses and all the business advice I have to any entrepreneur is if you're focused on the fees, you're focused on the wrong thing. Focus on the big picture, focus on what you want, which is guests at your place, and don't worry about 1 or 2% to enable them to book on a credit card. Gladly pay that. That may be in Homeaway will communicate with each other, but I can't give you exact details on how to do it, but your listings are coordinated. Thanks, Rod. We have a couple of Google Home speakers in STR, and it seems that people don't quite yet know what to do with them. Yeah, and I would think Alexa is a little bit challenging. Some people know what to do with it and others don't. But nonetheless, it's kind of interesting. On expanding, do you recommend that folks expand around the country or stay in a region? I'm currently sticking in a region because I'm not sure how to expand beyond that. Okay, well listen friends, I'm going to bounce here. My phone is almost dead. I hope you found this very helpful and interesting, and I want to encourage you to please go ahead and list on at least a second platform. If you're only on VRBO, list on Airbnb. If you're on Airbnb, list on Homeaway or VRBO. Booking.com, a lot of people like a lot. And I just think that you really want to diversify and just spread your wings and just grow. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you're watching this when it's not live, go ahead and leave your comments and your thumbs up to encourage other people to do it. And again, if you want to come to Nashville, there's a few seats left. I would very much love to meet you in person and really help you get to that next level. So thank you very much, friends. Have a great day. All right, take care. How do I end this?